doing it? Preview not live. Okay, so now I do have to start. Interesting. Loading. Ayo. Twitch, what's your freaking malfunction? It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. So let me just like... Let me just figure out, orient myself here. Close that, close that, close this. We're back to this. Where are we at here? And then, God, Twitch is so, it's amazing just how bad web apps are now. One of the things that I noticed was just like how less janky and busted the Streamplace UI is compared to YouTube's backend, and especially Twitch. Oh my God. Like, I don't even know how you put up with that. I mean, I guess what it is Twitch is all gamers and they have like insanely tricked out PCs. And so they don't notice how terrible it is. And it's like, if you just have like a regular computer, it's like, just like that. So, we are going to get back. Twitch is still trying to load. Oh, that's pathetic. Whatever, it'll happen or it won't. I don't actually care. You know what's funny is that every time I go on all three of these at once, there is always, like one of them always gets a lot of interest and the rest of them are goofed. Or they just don't, nothing happens. I think I'm actually going to just kill the browsers and restart them on the monitoring computer. Poor little MacBook Pro with your 8 gigabytes of RAM. You can't have 3 browser windows open. It's fine. It's fine. I just won't be able to see chats or anything like that for like 10 entire freaking minutes while it loads up again. So where was I here? Okay, we have resolved to self-host. Well, let's start at the beginning. So, a few weeks ago, I have been, so like my shtick for the most part has been doing like big projects. And I've wanted for a while, because like big projects that take a really long time to freaking, you know, you got to find the guy who's doing it and you got to like negotiate and, you know, they don't want to do it right away. You know, it's basically, it's like 6 to 9 months kind of turnaround time for like getting a project. So it's just like, you know, and then like anything can happen in that interval, like any, you know, oh, like we decided to go a different direction, or like we, you know, we ran out of money, or like we laid off the person who was the point, you know, or whatever happens. And so I have been like looking for just like stuff that is not as insane a overhead, what am I saying? Like transaction costs is the word. Like something that just does not have is like a redonkulous, super costly, super risky, like anything can mess it up, kind of a thing. And then it's like, because it's risky, you got to charge more money. And like, then it's like, you basically price out like people who could totally use your help and. So, I came up with effectively like a set of, like training services. The thing is too, is like, I also like, I don't want to go the couch. Like I'm not a coachy guy, and I'm not really a what's it called? Like I'm not a facilitator. Also, like it's just that's not really my shtick. Okay, you can go now. It was taking too long. Let's just try to load it up. So I was like, because it's like your typical sort of like workshop-y, facilitator-y thingamajig is kind of like the way people tend to go in between like much, much, much larger projects, or they just do that. And it's like, well, I'm not like either of those things. So I have been interested in coming up with something that sort of fits my temperament. And we are finally loading up. Oh my god. Or my gourd. Can I get that? Second, it's my monitoring computer is finally taking its sweet ass time. Okay, you actually, I can close you. Sure, whatever. Data to display. Are we back? We are back. Okay. I mean, I was streaming the entire time. I just couldn't see anything. Okay. Oh my god, are you gonna freaking make me log into this freaking thing with a freaking passkey? Jesus. Just a second. Anytime, you let me prove who I am with a piece of hardware. It's been loading for several minutes now. CPU is pinned. Okay, we don't need Zotero open, that's for damn sure. Get out of here. It's just another gigabyte of RAM getting taken up for no reason because I'm not using. I would love to complete the sign-in using my passkey, bastard. We're still waiting. I should just like checklist this. If I'm streaming, I just need to like kill everything and restart it. Okay, now we're finally back. Are we back? Everyone, Bueller? Okay. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Okay. So, the idea of just like having something that is much, much cheaper, that doesn't, you don't have to go to your board of directors to, have to contract with me kind of a thing. So one of those things was these training seminars that I have been working on for the last few weeks. And by few weeks, I mean, this is just like stuff that I know in my bones, and I just have to extract it because I have so many years of experience with this kind of a thing. In particular, this is the rest, as Roy Fielding, the author of the PhD dissertation upon which it's all based, rest is an enormously profound thing. We tend to think about it as it's APIs where you do different request methods or something like that. And I mean, yes, sure, that's not wrong. That characterization is not inaccurate. It's just maybe accounts for 1% of what REST is about. I mean, the thing is you got to understand about Fielding is that guy basically designed the implement, how the entire freaking web functions. And then he went off and he wrote a PhD dissertation about it. And the take home from that was APIs with request methods. Okay. So anyway, it's a lot more profound. There's a lot more stuff. It's you think about it in terms of organizing principles. But so the idea was it's you can hire me for your team, and it'll be a 90-minute seminar to get the basics, or a half-day workshop for a little bit more intensive. But I'm also, I want to make this stuff available for individual practitioners. So I've started to do that's the hire me to come to your freaking, maybe not come to your actual office. It depends. Not flying to the US these days, that's for goddamn sure. But, it's negotiable if you want me to come to your office. But, anyway, it's to to do these sort of training seminar, short one, 90 minutes, and a long one, which is we look at whatever you want to look at that's not too, my stock freaking agreement has an NDA and a mutual NDA in it anyway, but it's just basically whatever you feel okay talking about, whatever you're working on wise, and we can actually jam on how to make it go better as far as REST is concerned. But the plot, the scheme, was also to do pre-recorded versions so that individual basically ICs can also afford this content. So that's what this is. And so, effectively what I want to do is I want to do like a, like an actual checkout / enrollment thingamajig. So, I started doing that. And we can review this. I was looking at this. I started working on this. This is Sense Atlas, by the way. This is my eventually will be a product. It may look completely different by the time it's something that you can sachet up to and plug a credit card into. But my major focus with this right now is on the permeability of the data. So I don't really give like too much of a shit how it looks right now. It's just got to be like good enough. Because the whole sort of idea behind it is the structured data that it generates, and then you can like do stuff with it. You can use it to drive processes or whatever. Use it to, you probably could feed it into a friggin' LLM and have it support your vibe coding if that's what you were into. But anyway, what this is representing is it's representing the, oh, don't fuck with me, Twitch. Or no, is that just it finally loading? I don't know. Anyway, computers. Sorry. Where was I here? Yeah, okay, so, this is what this is talking about. On-demand lectures coming soon. And then, that's what this says. This is a goal, by the way. What we're looking at is IBIS. Well, we're looking at like my take on IBIS. We're looking at sort of like my, IBIS, issue-based information system. You got 3 things in the world. You got an issue, which is like a thing that you need something done about. You got a position, which is what to do about it. Then you got an argument, which is why or why not. So I have subclassed those so that we also have these things called goals. We've got goals and tasks. So like a task is a thing that you actually need to do versus a position is not necessarily actionable. A position is just like a position. It's just like, it could be a decision. Oh, it's helicopter o'clock. So, I am actually using the principles of this semantic rest thing in this and what I'm going to be trying to make, which is basically just, well, we follow this. Okay, so here was basically the process, where you can see it's self-hosted video as well. The original idea, so I want to be able to sell on-demand video lectures to retail customers. The original idea was to get on Udemy, I don't fucking know how you pronounce that, I don't care. To get with these guys, and then when you look into it, they're not that great. So for one, they take a 63% cut. Well, the reason to do it is that they have their network and they direct traffic at you, but like, how much traffic are they directing, right? So that's the plus. The minus is, they take a 63% cut when they do that, which is a big cut. They also take up to 2 months to pay out because they do a 30-day delay from the end of the calendar month in which the enrollment was billed. So like, if it's March 1st and somebody buys your thing, then you got to wait till March 31st, count another 30 days, and then another, however, I don't know if it was like business days at the end. So basically, March to April, and then like April should be like mid-May by the time you get your check. And it's not a check, sorry, it's also PayPal. And PayPal takes a massive freaking rake on they have a spread on their exchange rate to the tune of another 2 or 3%. So I'm in Canada. I get paid by PayPal. I get friggin' and they take another 2 or 3%, I think, on top of that. So, like, you know, where's the money left? Where's the, you know? So, somebody convinced me to just self-host it. Why? Well, let's look. I have all the infrastructure already, right? Like, I got a server, you know, I don't see a high volume. It's like, if I go over my traffic quota, which I doubt, you know, that would be a problem that I wouldn't mind having. So I'm not super concerned. And it's like, oh, if I need a CDN or whatever the hell, we can work that out. But I doubt I'm gonna need that. Yeah. I also have, like, you know, I got 6,000 plus followers on Blue Sky, although half of those are freaking Blue Waiver bots and shit. And I got a newsletter, like, with a circulation of like 1,000 people, which would probably, like, it overlaps quite a bit, I'm sure. I got however many 100 people in Mastodon, and whatever. And then Stripe only charges 3%, and they pay out right away. They pay out every day, you know, but like on a 3-day delay. So these, like, just seem like, you know, so basically the only infrastructure that I'm missing, where are we here, is the thing to do the actual order processing. So, yeah, it's actually this. Oh, that is that. Okay. Yeah. So, create a minimal infrastructure to handle one-off payments and add people to the authorization list. Actually, we can probably just, I can put the, I can put that there. I don't have to put that there. Or I do, or what? Yeah, so I can get rid of this. We don't need that. And then it's a little bit not as jankering. So, so let's create a minimum infrastructure. I don't remember what all this is. What is this? Okay. Yeah, we don't really care about that. What is this? Right. So we should, what is this? If a customer wants to buy access for somebody else. So we're going to think about this what I was doing just before I went to the pool. I'm gonna just do that. So self-host the videos. Minimal infrastructure. One of these I was going to transform payment success redirect page. Is this filled? Yes. What is this? Customer. What is that? No, that's okay. Actually, let me just add another argument to this. We are going to oppose this, and we are going to say, I we've already done a lot of design work figuring this out, and also I don't want friction. I don't. I want, yes, I want the highest value purchases, transactions to have the least friction possible. It would be, the thing is like I've already done, like when I was deliberating this, whenever this was the other day, so the 2nd, and that's probably, did I have a little mousey over? No, I don't. That's fine. Actually, you know what I do have? I think I have it in the thing. Yes. 12:38:21 Z. So that was Monday morning that I was thinking about this. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So we don't think this anymore. The customer group, and so those, yeah, we got to talk about groups. We're gonna get there in a second. Make the payment. This thing. Okay, we'll get back to. Okay. Where the hell was I with that? Yep. Okay, so create a minimal infrastructure. The issue is, I mean, it might actually be one of these issues down here. This is what I need to figure out. Yes. What are you? People need, yes, okay, well, that's just irrelevant. Yes. Access button, this is should, that's already there. Okay. What's this? Activate person, yes. Trip payment. Flag the emails, yes, okay, sure. What is this? Use a password to authenticate customers, yes. Okay, we're just trying to disgorge what's in the brain right now, because the brain has got a bunch of stuff. And what is this? Really hate when you have to explicitly log into the system. Yes. Yes, okay. So the issue here is when the person comes back, so we will, I mean, we can just ask, like, how the hell are we going to collect payments? We already know, but we put it in for completeness. How does the customer enter the payment flow? Just going to actually, this needs to get, like, so much stuff just needs to get me worked out on this. It's be like one of those things, like, if, it's like, I don't want to get VC for this thing because it's not, like, it's not the kind of thing for that. I just need to So it already thinks it's doing Stripe. Like we've already determined that, but we're just doing this for completeness. So we're going to say how are we actually processing the payment? And then we will say, as response, use Stripe to process payments. Check out. And that's for some reason, but this is going to be specializing this guy, right? Animal. And then this is also going to be response to Stripe. Boop. Making all sorts of fun stuff. Where are we? Let's grab one of these and take a look at it again. Just going to give this like a little page refresh here. Oops. I always do that. I'm like trying to like move the mouse on the wrong damn computer. Okay. I just wanted to refresh one of these pages because it was like all goofed anyway. So, you know what's kind of funny is like Stripe, freaking Twitch counts me as a viewer of myself. It seemed like Streamplays did that. YouTube does not, but now it seems like Streamplays does not either. So I don't know if that was just like a recent change. But I'm gonna just like aim that up a little bit because I'm sitting up straighter. Sit up straight, Dorian. That's kind of like that was like something that I imagined my ex-girlfriend saying, but I said it to myself before she did. Anyway. My current girlfriend would be a hypocrite if she said that. Because she doesn't sit up straight. Okay. Anyway. So, we are back to this. All the infrastructure. Yes. Yes, how do you? Oh, are you covering? Yes, okay. You create minimal infrastructure. How does the customer do the payment? Where did I just put that? This. Do I not have? How are we actually processing payments? Where are you? It's just so many things I have to fix. Do you see it lighting up? I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just go to it and see what happens when we load that. Okay, you are whack. You are freaking goofed. It's gonna take a second to reload. Actually, that took surprisingly not a lot of time. Okay. All right, use Stripe to process payments. Cool. I mean, this is going to be like, blah. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So I made this tool to, because, I mean, initially I made this tool as an aid for cost estimation before like realizing that I don't actually ever want to do cost estimation ever again, because there's like better ways to estimate that aren't based on cost. You can get the same results from like if the goal is to actually like make money, you know, make things cost less than they're worth, then there are definitely other ways to do it. So, anyway. So we are using Stripe to process the payments, but that is not all. So, issue is, oh, these are down here. Actually, these are the ones that we've already done. How do we detect the payment? Oh, this should be downstream of that. What's this? Customs detect the payment from Stripe. Well, this should just also generalize detect. No, oh god, I fucked that up. Did I fuck that up? I like fat fingered it at the last second. It's gonna make another goddamn thing. I'm gonna have to fuck it, but maybe not. No, okay, I'm good. Payment from Stripe. And that should actually go. Oh, you should just actually nuke that piece. So hello. This is interesting because it's actually like a much more gnarly one than I had. Like this This one has way more interconnected stuff than stuff I normally do. Like there's a lot of like crisscrossy things, which is interesting. So you start to process the payments. Yes, okay. I'm gonna put the GitHub thing for that. Might as well. Boop. This doesn't do link previews yet because I gotta do a whole damn thing in order to have link previews. But like, it's like link previews and like the thing about intertwingler, which is the friggin'. So I've got like I have like a 3-layer stack, 4 layers. God. So I have Sense Atlas. That's a product. That's gonna be an app. I've got Intertwingler, which is like it's an application server, but I'm cutting Intertwingler into 2 pieces. I'm cutting it into another piece I'm calling Intermingler for now, which that's not going to be the name. And so I guess only 3 pieces. But yeah, basically I'm gonna probably have another thing too. Just an entire stack. Anyway, okay. Blah, 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 blah. What do we got? Okay, we don't need to deal with this quite yet. What is this? What is this? How do we detect the payment? What is this? Register a webhook. So let's just do that. We will create a webhook. And I will say create a webhook. To monitor for payment events. I'll just do that. Boop. But I'm going to turn this into a subtask as soon as you're done. I need like a style guide too. So like, just as a for instance, like spelling email, just E-M-A-I-L, I've never liked because I speak French, and like email like that is émail, which is enamel, like paint. And so like it always messes with, like I don't like the way that it looks. Shit's getting wild now. What if we missed the webhook event? Good fucking question. What if we missed the webhook event? I don't like how it does this too. It's just a laziness. I want like a month just to do visuals for this thing. It's like, yeah, I just have to spend my entire goddamn life doing not that. Spend my entire life doing other shit. Anyway. Let's just go up the train here. Choo choo. What time is it? 2:15. Dur, 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 dur. I kind of. You know, what if I put the subtask, so this context thing I'm not sure about, and this like, are we doing this right now? Like litigating, like these two things I almost never use. And there's like, I think there's a there's a dependency as well, which also is not like, so here's the thing about it, like topologically speaking, like if you have a task and then it's like if you have a task which has a dependency on a state, like this thing has to be this way before you can do this task. That's what the depends on things. So that's not the same thing as being a subtask of something. You know, you stare at this shit for like a decade and you will find that it's a lot more nuanced than you know, when you sort of think about tasks and stuff like that. How am I going to do task management? How am I going to model tasks? Stare at that shit for 10 years and come back to me and, you know, tell me how simple it is. This is coming apart. It's coming apart. I'll leave it for now. Okay, anyway. Send the order ID back on the redirect. Success. Yes, okay. That should be the stripe thing. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to like gather up like what the actual, all the jobs are here. There needs to be a way, actually, this is another thing we gotta do. Proceed to contact mine. What's this? Access button visually distinct. Are you here? You're there. Yep. What's this? Catch these at the redirection. Forwards to the logic page. What's this? Okay. What are you? Can't mention a group. Yeah, so we haven't even talked about groups yet in this thing. So what are we here? Where are we with subtask? Create a webhook to monitor. Okay, that's all we are at. Strive to process payments. So we need to have a where is my brain? So modify the marketing page. Where are we at there? Access, yes. Where are you? Okay. Be a special case. Yes. What is this? You just bought. No. Okay. Make payment success. So that is the thing we need to do to discuss next. What's this? Yes. What's that? That's stripe. Okay. What's this? Stripe. Sure. What's this? Submit order ID. this. Okay. So we're going to create a resource. I mean, yes, what are you again? What is this again? What if the person's already logged in? Working page, call to action, binary login. Yes. Confused if the login and purchase action are the same form. Yes, okay, we don't have to worry about that. What we need is an issue that gets us to create this, and it's going to connect to this. But this is what this is. Okay, so what is this again? Yeah, this is a weird. We can probably connect this directly. That's what we'll do. What's this again? I mean, this is sort of an interesting thing because it's kind of backwards. Payment success target page. We haven't even talked about that. Okay. Right. Okay. So. Stripe. Where's the stripe thing again? Use stripe. Okay. So this is the thing that needs an issue. What are you again? You are the forget passwords. Okay. So we have to, how do we validate? How do we detect the payment? What are you? You are. What if we miss the webhook a bit? Okay. Oops. So, send the order ID back with the redirect on success. Check its status before proceeding. It's like you get a few things on the screen and you're like, let me do. What happens if they send the order ID back? That is a good question. What happens if, like, so if you miss... So anyway, so we need to come on, buddy. How do we detect a payment? It's like funny once you, like, I've noticed this a lot, is once you have a bunch of things on the screen and you're like, what was it again? Like, what's the actual thing? This is like, again, like the math is really fucking with me on this because it is, it ain't right. It's like kind of off. Again, I would like love to just like tool on it for like a month or two. So it's just sort of like, how do we let the person on to the thing? Should probably not even need that. What's this? Yeah. It's not even direct. That's going to get moved. That's for sure. How do we get new customers in the authentication database? That's a very good question. I would just say, how do we fulfill the order? Come on. We've already got, right? Like, we've already gone through this. What I'm trying to do now is like backfill the rationale into the network. So that's just like, how do you actually detect the payment? And then there are two. One is create a webhook. The other one is, what's this? I'm just going to do this. Create a landing page or whatever, target resource that will process to forward successful payments. Stripe will confirm the payment was okay. And then let's just do this. And then we will make this a subtask of create an infrastructure. You know, that's probably not filled out yet. I really gotta fix that. This is gonna be fucking black. Getting jacked on the caffeine. I think I want to move these. Problem is, miss? I've been up since like 3 something a.m. So who knows how long I last anyway. Detect the payment. That's a good question. Skippy. Stripe. I should make like a scenario. So like the scenario, it's like it could miss the webhook. It also could like get stranded. That's just sort of what I'm worried about. Because like if it never knows, it's like if it misses the webhook, it's going to get impossible. Let's see. Target resource for it goes. Yeah. What if we miss the webhook event? Right. So this is where the actual thing is going to live. Oh, Super Mario noise. Yes, okay. What if the redirect back from Stripe is just Stripe? This is just going to be blip. Yeah. You can always tell when that's like off in the weeds, which I think is amusing about this visualization. Pew, pew, pew. Don't actually need you, do I? If this does, sure. I don't understand why this is here. Maybe maybe I will. Move that. Use Stripe to process payments. Cool. Just getting to sleepy time. I don't know. I'm feeling it's like just drank a liter of coffee and I'm like I could take a nap. Create a target resource now. this guy actually needs to be attached to this guy. Yes. Sorry, this guy. Quantity. Generalizes quantity. Bam. This is going to make stuff even more gnarly. It's because the geometry is hyperbolic, so like the farther stuff away is like longer. And like these things are causing all sorts of hell. I can definitely feel my tiredness. Yes. So this is going to say how to do it. Generalize make the payment. Yes. Okay. Payment. The reaches. See, this is the thing. This is sort of like, why couldn't you just? This is what I want to capture. Is like, why couldn't you just do this by hand, or not? What I say by hand. So it's like, payment successful. Log the person in, right? Yeah. Whoa. What if we missed the webhook event? So, actually, you know what I'm going to say? Is this a subtask? So this is the other thing. I don't know. Anyway. I think I might be too tired to do this right now. What time is it? 1:09. Yeah. Let's have a little siesta and then come back to this later. I'm like fading.